On screen ready. I think it started. Hey!
Oh my god, I'm on that side.
Yes, there should be some improvements hopefully to the visual as now if I look to...
Now, if I look at you, I'm looking at you there, too.
Exactly. It's all very cleverly worked out. You just waved at your own name, which is kind of neat.
Cool.
Welcome! Hello! How's it going? Not exactly the serious start today, I don't know why, but that's okay.
We're all silly. We have the sillies.
I'm just looking at where my spot used to be, and it's like, when did my hair get pink?
This
and when
is
did my
why
hair
I
go
didn't
back?
want to put a screen out for you guys to see, because I knew this would happen, but I'm doing the same. So,
To be fair.
welcome to another session of Legends of the Drowned Isles, a homebrew RPG, a D&D 5th edition. I want to spell all the things now. 5th ed, 5e game in my world of
We're
Omesha.
live.
What's that?
I forgot to post on the page that we're live.
Well,
I'll do that now.
they're going to hear. I see. There's my headphones are feeding back here. I don't want to. It's all a very technical operation here today. Hi.
Hi.
I'm Mark the Encaffeinated One. This is my world of Omesha, in which my patient players are putting up with my machinations. Who are my players? Well, they can tell you for themselves, starting over here.
Hi, I'm Jody. I'm going to be playing Clark today. He's our half-orc fighting rogue, and staring down the many tentacles of a scary beast.
I am Elzara. I am posting a picture on the page right now. Elzara is played by Marie. Jeez.
Don't trust the streams.
We'll just refer to ourselves in the third person. It's much easier that way.
But yes, I am trying to, save people's lives as wind.
We are Pat. We are playing Kujaima, who's probably going to be spitting darts at stuff soon.
Right. I'm Max, and I'm playing Zakis, half-elf wizard, who is currently wind.
Breezy. Somewhat breezy. All right. Well, that brings us to the start of this session with a little bit of a recap of what happened last time. After High Priestess Polema of the Temple of Nemazni vanished, Speaker Valis, with both mixed joy and sadness, spoke to the party. He both needs to manage the temple in her absence, and also needs to let the other temples know about her elevation. He spoke to the group about a lot of things, from the rising threat of the demon Arvax in Hardgloom and the diminishing power and presence of Peturo, to the other temple near Festering, where the dragon broodmother, Gevanetta, has been tearing apart the forest looking for something. Valis examined Ironbound's trinket, the sphere he grabbed when his Illithid masters vanished, and identified it as some sort of communication stone, with one face clearly representing Arvax, one face representing Festering, and one face reminding him of the creatures that gather in the Greybrook. The fourth face was recognized by Elzara as a corrupted form of Druidic. After a night's rest at the temple, the group set out for Festering to check on the temple that Valis mentioned, as well as find Bernard Cotton, the halfling who has been growing wild thornberry in this desolate place. Using Elzara's windwalk, they flew quickly along a caravan path to the edge of the dull, oily Greybrook, then traveled in the opposite direction of Ember Skull to seek out Festering. As they rose in the sky, they discovered two things: that a creeping mist seemed to hover in the air, obscuring the ground even after only a few dozen feet, and there was no sky overhead, but that the entire realm seemed enclosed in dark stone with crystals embedded in the ceiling to simulate stars. The twisted forest of Festering shadowed them on the right, just beyond the Greybrook, and then sprawling over it, when Clark found himself with a strange case of familiarity and purpose. He traveled away from the river and discovered a troop of orcs undergoing some sort of training regime under the command of his sister, Agma. She seemed pleased to see him and invited him to join the exercises. Clark, entranced, changed back to tangible form. Elzara, Ironbound, and Zakis, however, saw a much different scene. Numerous people sitting rigidly in rows, staring blankly ahead and faintly smiling, and a tentacled beast reaching out to snatch them, one by one. As they approached, the creature came forward out of a cave nearby, a gray-brown mass with a gaping maw and long, snaking tentacles. Elzara and Ironbound started to change to solid form, but told Zakis to stay back to protect the pillar. And that's where we begin. Now, I believe both of you had already changed back from your mist form, and I think Ironbound, you're also there?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you want to go ahead and place yourselves?
I am an air elemental right now.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Where do we place ourselves?
So this is the creature itself. It is sort of a valley, if you will, with the stones kind of built up around it. There are numerous small holes. Good point. I will switch to the map screen so people at home can go and judge for themselves what this looks like.
Map screen.
So I'm a little concerned about scale here because there's a lot of things that operate quite a long distance here. So the scale is going to be 10 feet per square, not 5.
Okay.
Just keep that in mind. With Clark, you're going to be fairly close. You're going to start fairly close into the creature's face, essentially.
Is there a mini?
Do we not have your mini out?
I don't see
Oh my!
it.
Well, I'm going to have to make sure I can find that.
Clark has disappeared.
Clark has vanished.
I do have an orc here.
We had a Clark.
He has a bow, but
I'm talking away from the microphone, I realize. Pardon me, folks, while I search for Clark. The quest for Clark.
While the search goes on, I'll actually mention something that we meant to mention at the start. There's the distinct possibility that the fire alarm might go off because we've been having problems with it. If it does, I think the plan is to mute the sound, and I will go run off and try to make it stop blaring, but hopefully that won't happen.
It didn't. His mini didn't get left out on the table. That's where it usually sits. So I didn't want to look. The other thing is we also will have a longer than normal break this time. We're actually going to stop the stream around 5:30 Atlantic time, and there'll be a second stream that starts up around 6:30 roughly. So if you're watching, that's one way to do it. If you're watching at home, there will be obviously a different kind of break. I have. Let's see.
I do have an archer half orc, but
if that's satisfactory, that will work for
Good enough for me.
cool.
I'm not sure where.
I have a dragonborn.
I have every other mini under the sun, but I only had one, so I wouldn't confuse it. I only had one half orc.
How many squares would you like?
2 squares away to start with.
And I would be close by.
And you followed it.
Yeah, well,
quickly
because
as
you would
well.
actually,
Yeah,
you'd
I
actually
had
be
pulled
right
him
up with
away.
him. Yeah,
We were about to pull him away.
yeah, you were right up with him because you just.
No, because I had grappled him and pulled him away before he became solid.
You couldn't grapple him before he became solid.
We had established
Yeah,
that you
'cause
can
he was
grapple
there.
wind because you used that.
Wind,
Oh, okay.
Wind can grab wind.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you had grappled him. I don't think you'd pulled him away though. You had knocked him out of being mind whammied.
Yeah, we know that the illusion is now gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's now solidified.
The illusion is now obvious. The illusion is not gone. You can still see the illusion. And it
Oh, okay,
notices you
sorry.
there.
I was under the impression things had
It-
faded.
It's more of that you are now aware that it is an illusion,
Oh, okay.
but the lingering double vision is still there.
Okay.
And also the curious look from your sister, as she sort of seems to notice the change.
And Kujima's 80 feet back because he's had one round to dash in. So.
Hello,
same
friend.
thing, but anyways. 20, 40, 40. No.
Remember,
sorry.
they're tens, not fives.
Yep. 20, 40, 60, 80. Dun, 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 dun.
Okay.
And Arizakis is watching from
So how far is Zakis away? Because remember, the site is very limited now.
He's at least back this far because that's where Elzara and I initially came down, was 150 feet away from him. And he would have been somewhere behind that.
I remember seeing the creature though. So
Mm-hmm.
however far I would have been there. What's the?
You probably would have to be more in a straight line with the actual valley to see it, because it isn't that high up. It is crawling across the ground. And popping in and out of different small cavern holes you see around.
Okay.
Which, for the size of the creature, it's actually quite amazing how it can fit in some of these, but it seems to with no difficulty whatsoever.
I'm probably high up off the ground a little bit.
Well, maybe 60 feet, because beyond that, remember, it's hard to see much of anything.
Okay.
And even here, and with your vision, it's hard to really notice any details down there. It would be obscured, actually, at this particular point for you seeing any details.
So, and I had yelled at him to not transform back.
Yeah.
Right. So he has not started to do so or even attempted so far.
Nope.
So we will roll initiative to get this started.
Initiative.
The creature has this weird undulating pattern. Does not have any visible eyes. Really, literally just a gaping maw with this brown mass behind it and tentacles moving outward. You can almost make out, perhaps, that's the foot of the last halfling that he just grabbed. Still somewhat stuck in his maw. 20 to 25. Nobody? Oh, I should roll for them. There's something I forgot to do. All right. Oh, that's interesting. That means it is 15 to 20.
16.
18.
Okay. And I remember this is the opposite order for me. So that's high, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got an 18 now?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Still, this is somewhat awkward. Hoping to improve this particular system, but it works at least for me to keep on track. 10 to 15.
12.
12. Okay. And 5 to 10. 0 to 5.
4.
4. Okay.
But I'm not doing anything, so it's not a big deal.
You're not doing anything yet.
No.
You're gonna see a massacre. One way or the other.
All right. It is up.
If nothing else, you can run fast and run far.
Fly.
Okay.
I'm gonna fly right to Baturo.
All right. Let's see where we're at.
Hey, got this thing. Can you send me home?
It's not actually flying anymore. You're still walking.
All right.
Walking over there.
Let's see. What does it want to do first? Let's see.
Eat the orc.
So,
No.
I know.
I think it's going to move forward a little bit. So, even though it's kind of one solid blob in the middle, it kind of props itself up on its different undulating tentacles, kind of snaps forward a little bit, just a little bit, and does indeed try to reach out and grab the orc, which seemed to be a pending meal. So, let's see if I can roll another natural 20.
Let's do it. Here we go.
Okay. That is not a natural 20.
Okay.
That is a total of 22, however.
You'll certainly hit.
All right. As the tentacle wraps around, I haven't got any of my dice. It's been a while, like a week since I've done anything.
We play D&D here.
Yeah, I know. It's been a while.
At least, like, you have your dice here.
That's true. That's true. You take 10 points of bludgeoning damage. Now, the two of you both have him grappled at this point, so you're being pulled between the two of you. That means that because you have him grappled, you can actually attempt to do an escape for him as well.
Okay.
But a second tentacle is going to go after you. That is only a 14 to hit.
That'll still hit.
No, after her.
Pardon me.
No. My AC is 15 because I
AC
don't
is
have my
15?
shield.
Okay. Third tentacle attack. Now going against the wind elemental again. That is a 22.
Yep.
That is only 6 points of bludgeoning damage. You are not grappled because you can't be grappled in that form. And the fourth one is it seems to be desperate to try to grab onto. Well, actually, now that it realizes it can't grapple you, as the arm goes right on through, it's going to lash out a second arm at Clark.
So smart.
That is 24 to
Super
hit.
grapple.
Oh, that'll definitely hit.
And actually, grapple doesn't change that effect, so there's no difference there. That is 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Got it.
So
Thank you.
now trying to escape, you'll be at disadvantage because it's basically the two arms on you.
Okay.
Next is Ironbound. You can see the squares that are there are meant to represent different people who've already been enthralled. These are the ones that are being eaten before. They still seem to have that glassy stare to them.
Yeah. Well, this is the first round of combat, so I get plus 10 movement bonus and an extra weapon attack.
Go for it.
So I go. It's probably supposed to be there. 10, 25, since I'm going up a level.
Yep.
I got 45 movement, so it's going to have an odd number anyways.
Mhm.
Badoom. And I will...
There's a human sitting in front of you, a male human. You think it's male anyway. It's kind of shabby and looks very disheveled and gray. This close, you can see the small tears. The eyes seem almost steadfastly open and probably dry at this point.
My first action is to kick them.
Okay. Make a medicine check.
Okie dokie. 23.
23. You manage not to try to hurt them. Kind of
I don't mind doing a point of damage to
Well, you don't kick them in anything probably vital at this point. But you kind of shove the person and...
Yeah, I got a 24 to hit them, I think. No,
they...
no, this is a strength-based thing.
It would be strength-based.
That's a... I should actually put that in there somewhere. Okay, that's an 18.
To hit?
To kick them.
Oh, yeah. You
I
kind
did
of
1 point.
Where are you going to hit them?
Ribs.
Okay. So you wind up, and as you're kind of
Actually,
jumping up the stairs...
I'd have to kick way high to hit them in the ribs.
It's a little hard because they are sitting on their butt. But
that's fine. I kick them
kind
in
of
the
catching
hips.
the lower back. And the person pitches forward.
My legs are like this long. So.
And you can hear a small moan coming from the person as they seem to be moving slightly.
I yell at them to wake up, and my second action is to...
And it's specifically a second attack. You
Yes.
only have one action.
Is to dart the big tentacly thing.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah. If it hits, it gets an extra D8 weapon damage added. I will take the -5 to do +10 damage, and I'm using one of the hallucinogenic darts.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that's probably not going to hit. That's a 12 -5 is 7.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, the dart sails off into the darkness somewhere.
1 down. And that is that. I don't think I have anything to do with bonus actions, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I just yell at the person on the ground to run.
Okay. They're doubled over at the moment, but seeming to move a little bit. Elzera.
I am going to... I have Clark grappled.
Everybody loves Clark.
Well, until he gets fed into the creature's face.
Yeah.
It probably would have to beat her on an opposed roll to eat you.
Yeah.
She's got you grappled too.
Yeah. That would make it hard to resist any sort of thing at this point.
Just as similarly as you have a difficulty or disadvantage to pull him out, he would have a disadvantage, or it would have a disadvantage to try to chomp on you at the moment.
Yeah. Tentacle slaps for days, though.
Entirely possible.
It'll just tenderize you for a while.
Okay. That's what I'm afraid of.
Now, reasonably, would Elzara think that Whirlwind would help?
The trouble with Whirlwind is there's almost no way to extract Clark from that. You'd have to let him go first of all to even do it.
Yeah.
And Clark is pretty much intimately involved with the thing at this point.
Yeah. So I will not do that. I will...
Time for the song and dance.
Yeah.
Tiny little shoes appear out from everywhere.
Clark is but pawn in game of life.
I
Never
am
become a
going
butt pawn, just trust
to
me.
give Clark the help action
Okay.
and help him
Try to
try to
escape.
escape.
Okay.
So that would,
That'll be on his turn.
yeah.
Okay. So you're
give him-
basically trying to maneuver Clark in a way where he has something to push against. Unfortunately, the things he has to push against are either wind or the creature itself.
I'm pushing him away, like trying to spin him away from from the thing.
All right. Clark, you're up.
All right.
You're being held comfortably well, actually uncomfortably, by 2 different creatures at this point.
Let us flee from this creature. Obviously, it's dangerous.
That would be a good conclusion.
So I'd
actually,
like to
over its shoulder, you
Yes?
still make out the figure of your sister,
Yes.
looking concerned.
All right. Well, I need to know if Clark would consider this creature, this vision, real enough to act on, or is it an annoyance at this point?
Make a religion check.
Sure. Untrained. I got a 4.
Get a 4.
Yeah.
Up until this point, you realize it was an illusion.
Right.
It's not acting like an illusion anymore, but you can see through it, so you're not quite sure.
Okay. Before he does his action, then Clark would like to say to his sister, "You need to leave my sight if you're to help me."
Okay.
And
Make a
he'll-
persuasion
then
check.
Then he'll struggle. Persuasion is a 9.
Okay.
He's not that persuasive.
Your sister hasn't really listened to you for all of your life up to this point,
Why should she start now?
possibly.
Struggle.
Struggle. So it's going to be a straight roll
Okay.
because of the help.
Just a strength?
Canceling the disadvantage. So it is a athletics or
Okay.
acrobatics. You
Athletics
can choose.
is great.
Okay.
Right. Let's try again. Too old to play dice games. How about 20, 31,
31?
11, and 19?
How do you get...
that's
that's a
30.
lot. That's a lot. How do you get plus 11?
Well, I have athletics.
Are you expertise in
I'm
athletics?
expertised recently in athletics,
Okay.
which
Yep.
gives me a plus 11.
Because that's normally not a roll you casually make. It's 31, but that is quite enough.
We're talking about Clark here. Though.
But it's true. That's true. He is
Zach is in our
exceptional.
account.
So Clark tries to muscle his
He's
way
our
through.
designated door opener.
So
Yeah.
Like,
you kind of using this embrace of the wind, which thankfully you know is a friend of yours.
Here's hoping.
You're able to kind of angle yourself. Was this athletics?
Yeah.
Okay. And kind of grabbing one of the tentacles that's grabbed around you, and using that as another lever, or managed to kind of to shove apart the 2 tentacles
Yeah.
long enough to drop down to the ground.
Okay.
You are free.
Is there a move action in there?
Yes, because that's just your action.
Bonus action to disengage.
Okay. As you start to
Zoomies.
bob and
Yeah.
weave.
Yeah.
Are you staying right there, or are you going to move?
No, I'm definitely going to move. With a dash, that's a move of 40
Okay.
because of slow speed now.
Yep.
So I think that's what, 4 squares?
How are you dashing? Because use your
wait.
bonus action to disengage.
Oh, disengage. Excuse me. I'll move 20 then. I can run for 20.
So it'll be 2 squares.
1, and I'm going to be basically behind.
Okay, so you kind of face into the wind, move to the other side of
Yeah.
it.
In fact, I'm going to keep facing that way because I'm going to continue running that way
Okay.
eventually.
I will continue to be a wall.
Canyons
Uh,
suck.
Okay.
I mean, that's how that is.
All right. At the end of your turn, having recently released you, and seeing you kind of dashing off, and having kind of semi-noticed the dart flying on by, it vanishes. And reappears.
Do I get an attack of opportunity?
Nope. Gets teleported.
Vanished.
Actually, will land there.
Oh, hello.
Did I notice it teleporting?
As you're watching this, yes, you're seeing
Whoa.
it moving around.
Crazy.
It is your turn.
And I can move up to 300 feet, right, if I dash?
Mm-hmm.
No, you can move 600 if you dash.
Yeah.
300 is the actual move
Your
speed.
movement's 300.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That requires counting. So that means I can do up to like 30.
30 squares.
30
yes.
squares if you just move. Yeah. Or if you take your only
You can
action to
basically
dash.
go anywhere on the board except
Okay.
maybe
Yeah.
that far little bit.
I was going to do like, go here, whoosh, and like try to wake these 3 people up and end up here.
Okay, you can't actually interact with them at all.
Okay.
You're
can
not.
move their-
You're
you can
not.
move their hair.
You're not invisible. But you are essentially like a gentle breeze, indistinguishable from a gentle breeze, as far as your movement goes. But you can certainly move there.
Yeah. Literally the only things as per the spell you can do is move, dash, or turn back into yourself, which takes a minute.
Well, it's coming in my direction, so I'm going to go over here.
Do it.
Or is that too close to it?
Oh, you do you.
Yeah.
I've said something. You don't have to listen to it.
Yeah, and with your
Right
movement,
away.
you literally can move anywhere right
Yeah.
now. This
Yeah.
There's no way you can actually.
I'm just gonna go like away,
Yeah.
like I'm still
Sure. You don't want to see your friends getting eaten.
no.
Yeah, it's not fun.
So I'm gonna be like 60 feet in the air here instead.
Okay, so you're just going to get a closer, better view,
Yeah.
kind of pay-per-view at this point.
Do
And
we
is there
want
anything
to grab
like
those?
specific that I can observe?
Do we want to grab the things or?
The thing, the height stuff.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to matter because either there's going to be someone who's flying and can't do anything, or someone who's
Fair.
not flying, I guess.
But yeah, I'm just
Okay.
trying to like observe as many details as I can.
Okay. All right.
I saw a teleport.
Make a perception check at disadvantage.
Oh. Well, that 16 would have been nice. So I guess I get a 7.
Okay. Top of the next round. It lashes out with its tentacles.
Tentacles.
It reaches out in one direction in front of it to the thing that threw the dart, or shot the dart.
Pew.
That is a 10 to hit. Which is
That's a miss.
It's going to send a second tentacle in that direction. That is an 11, which is probably also a miss.
Yeah, it needs a 16.
Behind it, kind of spreading out in both directions, it aims at Clark. Tentacle for that one is a 23.
Hit.
Really wants to eat Clark.
Distinctive hit.
Nom 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 nom.
And that is 10 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And you're
Got
once
that as
again
well.
you're once again grappled, and because you're not being held by something else,
Yes.
it actually drags you closer to it.
Ah.
So you're right up in its face.
All right then.
And you're also restrained.
Okay.
It's one of those ones that does actually move to the next condition.
Yep, for sure.
And the fourth tentacle, actually one more against the kobold. Are you looking like a kobold right now? I keep forgetting what your form is.
It would be whatever I last looked like.
I thought it was blending in with the society, so like rags and short person.
Yeah, I think it was. I was a halfling.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was a bearded halfling.
Halfling-ish.
So we'll go towards the halfling for the fourth because it has one. That is a 26.
Okay, that hits.
And that gives you 10 points of bludgeoning damage. And again, you're pulled closer to it. So you're basically pulled off the ridge. Someone wants to move the mini just down to the feet of the thing. And that is its turn. Ironbound, you're up. You're being wrapped up in this thing at the moment.
Well. Oh, sorry. I did have a reaction to use when it attacked me.
Okay.
No, actually, no, it beat me by 10. Never mind. Well, I will try to squirm out.
Okay.
There we go. I have advantage on acrobatics and athletics checks to escape grapples
Okay. Yep.
because of squat nimbleness. And my acrobatics is +8.
Nice.
23.
23. You wriggle free from the thing. It's trying to wrap its tentacle around you a couple of times, but unfortunately can't quite get the curve for this tiny little creature. Also underestimating because you're actually smaller than the halfling you look to be.
Mm-hmm.
As
By
you
a
easily
lot.
drop down to the ground. That is your action.
Let's see. Trying to think. I want. Yeah. I'm going to attempt to run out of its area. So
Okay,
whenever
so
I hit its
It will
thing,
make a attack of opportunity with one of the tentacles that's now loose. That's only a 10. Apparently against you, I'm not really rolling all that well. That's kind of neat.
Yeah,
3,
just-
4s, and 5s don't do it.
Keep it up.
actually, no, that's as far as I can go. I've got 35.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see.
Actually, I will do one other thing. I'll say, Clark, you've got this.
Okay then.
I have a bardic inspiration.
Oh, excellent.
Okay. So is it kind of a beatboxed "you got this" kind of thing for the actual
Nope.
sound?
Nope, that's just,
I love
you got this.
he's behind a rock. You got this, dude.
You're doing okay.
He's saying it as he's moving away.
You got this.
Bye.
All right. Let's see. The end of your turn. It vanishes. with Clarg.
Uh-oh.
Shit.
Uh-oh.
Bye.
And appears there.
Oh, here we are.
On top of the
Hello.
ridge just above you. Elzara.
I have a move speed of 100.
Mm-hmm.
I go up to it,
Okay.
and I'm gonna smack it.
Fair enough.
I can stand you here.
Yeah.
Any of the other spots are going to be.
I'm gonna try to hit it.
So let's not laugh at Clark
15.
when his die fly everywhere. 15 to hit?
15 on the die, so 23.
23. Okay, that's a little bit better. As yes, you kind of come with your windy arms and
Windy.
slash at the thing.
I am but wind.
What's all about wind here? I don't think that's good. Nothing more than
19.
nothing more than a druidic fart.
19 damage.
19 damage. Nicely done.
Magical.
Yep.
And I'm gonna hit it again.
Okay.
That is an 18.
18 hits.
Okay. That's 11 plus 5, so 16 damage.
16 damage. Nice.
And I'm going to. What can I use my bonus action for? Haven't used this character in combat in a while. Actions, reactions, other bonus actions. There we go. Yeah. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay. Let's see. Because it can, it is going to snack while it can.
Woo!
As it takes the bound up form of Clarg
Yay.
and tries to munch at Clarg.
You have advantage.
I have advantage,
Yep.
which is good because I'm doing terrible rolls. It's still only a 13.
That'll hit.
Oh, okay. That does hit then. I gotta pull out some dice. I just realized I have those dice out.
It's a lot of dice.
That is a lot of dice.
That doesn't look good.
Alright. That is... Oh, it's an okay roll. 20 points of piercing damage.
Got it.
As it bites onto your shoulder and kind of takes a chunk out of your shoulder.
Chomp
Gotcha.
chomp.
Let's see. Clark, it is your turn.
All right.
As you begin to bleed.
Let's try not to be eaten.
Alright.
Actually, my
behind-
AC is 16.
Hmm?
My AC is 16.
Okay. As again, you kind of look over your shoulder and you can see your sister climbing on the rocks as if she's standing right there, but again looking thin and looks concerned.
All right.
Holding a what looks like a very nice a pike.
Right.
It looks traditional. It looks like one of those ones that's handed down from
Okay.
from year to year. Well carved wood. You can see that. It has a few feathers on the end of it for balance as well.
Well, that's all fine and dandy. I would like to, as part of my movement, attempt to draw a weapon.
You are restrained.
Yes, so
So-
I can attack at disadvantage. So
Yeah.
I assume that means I could draw a weapon.
Um,
I just can't go anywhere.
yeah, sure.
All right, so Clark
It's a little hard to do so, but you managed to do so.
kick his leg
I'll
up.
say it takes your full bonus action to actually do
Sure.
that, though.
He'll
It's not
kick
just
his leg
trivial.
up to get the boot knife,
Okay.
and pull up the sacks.
Ah, there we go.
and start a carving.
Start carving.
That's
All right.
the plan.
And just kind of
So-
waving you around. It's just taking a big chunk out of it, and you're like,
So at disadvantage, the first strike is a sacks. 1 moment, please. 15 to hit.
15. Unfortunately, it's still too hard to catch a hold of it because it's moving too much.
Second swing. Less than that.
Yeah, unfortunately, while you do have the sacks out, trying to get the bead on this thing while it's trying to eat you seems to be somewhat eluding you at the moment.
Oh well.
Let's see. Okay. Zakis, you're watching the battle. Looks bad. Clark
Yeah,
is
it
being
looks
held
pretty
aloft
terrible.
by this thing, being eaten. Although, you know, you heard the very encouraging words, "You got this," on the other side. And you feel heavy. And you look down, and you're
Yeah.
becoming solid. And you hear a gruff laugh from behind you. Where's my
I was not becoming solid on my own accord.
familiar type of voice? Although I'm not sure if this is the same one.
Next
Arguably,
time
they
you
much
get
look
close,
the
don't get
same.
used to Bardic Inspiration.
As you see,
I'll need it
floating
for later,
beside
I
you,
think.
Oh, that guy. The guy I saw on Facebook.
with his bat wings kind of pushing him aloft, and then this enormous, ugly grin across his face. Ah, prizes.
Prizes. Hi again. Am I still
let's
wind?
See, no.
At
The
all?
spell has faded.
Dispel magic.
Completely.
Yep. As you find yourself starting to slowly sink down in the air.
Slowly sink down, at least.
It was 60 foot per round, so it would be end of round. He'd be on the ground.
Well, it is now your turn as you find yourself falling downward.
Slowly or falling?
You're not going to be hurting because
Okay.
you're not that far off from the ground.
You're under the effect of feather fall.
Oh,
Yeah.
Basically, for a minute.
No, not if he dispelled it.
No, that's
If he
true.
dispelled
Oh, actually, sorry. Yes,
He
I did
just
dispel
falls.
it. It's when the spell effect ends. You
Yeah.
get that. Unfortunately, he dispelled the effect. So, I'm going to have you make an acrobatics check to try to land without hurting yourself too much.
Well, there's
Ouch.
a 6.
Okay, so the full 66 it is then. It's probably not going to be that much.
Yeah. A 60 foot fall in D&D is.
I mean, that's a lot higher than I really expected it to be. Oh, that's 26 points of bludgeoning damage as you collide with the ground as it comes down rapidly.
I
Definitely.
have to do
our
math. It was supposed to be easy math. So, wait, don't tell me. 6, 78 minus. Okay.
And you can kind of hear that laugh from above you.
So he's like 60 feet above?
Yep, yep.
I don't know if you've heard, but we're on the same side now. Jackass.
Not necessarily.
It is your turn.
At least it might make him back off a little bit. He was working for Petru. But I'm assuming he wants my item, and he will not have the item.
Now fully revealed. In fact, I will have you make a perception check. Just because your passive perception is so incredibly high, you get a chance to see things other people don't notice.
That is a total 20.
Total 20? Yeah, as you kind of hear suddenly behind you the sound of Zacchus in not a favorable way, and then clunk. You hear we're on the same side. You look, you kind of shift your perception. As an air elemental, there's not really any front or back sort of thing, but you shift your perception and you see Zacchus pile upon the ground and hovering above that creature.
I, the player, can't see what
You
it
can
is.
spin the table around. That's the point of it.
I mean, fair. No,
Winged.
So the last time you saw anything like that was actually in the ethereal realm
It was with
surrounding
the queen,
the
right?
Vespari's temple.
yeah. Okay. That's what I thought, but I wasn't sure. Player.
Nope, that's right. And yeah, remember, you can always swing the thing around if you want to take a closer look at any side. So, Zacchus, your feet are sore, you've kind of crumbled down, your ankles are stretched out way too far, your knees are buckling a little bit, and that thing is grimacing and grinning above you. The one word that it did say was prizes.
Yeah.
It didn't seem surprised. It didn't
Surprised.
seem... Yeah. Not only that, it gives you the sense that this was part of a plan.
All right.
What would you like to do?
I will fire step to 60 feet, so.
Remember, those are
6
10
squares.
each.
Yeah,
Those are
6 squares.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6. I'll fire step over here, knowing how risky it is.
Okay.
But if he wants to hit me, then he's going to have to go here and engage this thing. So if I can get them, like,
Unless
fight
they're on
me-
the same side.
I don't think that thing is sentient. Does it look sentient?
It's really hard to tell unless you study it, and you're not really close enough to study it. So you far step, which is your spell.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then... So that's my spell.
You can move.
Yeah.
You
I'm
might
gonna-
you might be in range to
Can I see like any caves anywhere? Like
Oh, there are lots of small caves, about the size of a halfling. for
Did
most
you get an
part.
attack of opportunity?
How close are you
I'm not
moving?
I'm like at least a square away from it.
There's
That close? It does
it's
actually get a
it's
chance to.
15 or 20 feet, depending on where in the square he is.
Is he? Oh, okay. No, that's fine then.
Okay,
It does swing out in your direction, and it's awfully close.
Okay.
so you can move 3 squares.
Do I see like any little alcoves to hide in?
There are lots of alcoves, but they're about the size of a halfling. They're about that big.
I
At
can
least,
hide
at
them,
least from
Okay.
the opening.
but giant elves.
It was
I'm just
able to
a-
squeeze itself in, but it also looks mostly
Wait, I'm like solid Zacchus again.
right.
So
Nice
I
thing
will-
about the transparent minis is you don't have to paint them.
Yep.
Kinda-
I have a lot of just.
So I'm kind of like hiding behind a rock as well as I can.
Okay. You okay? Yeah, you don't have an action to hide, so
They're just like ducking. It's like,
okay. All right. We'll count that as half cover, depending on what's coming after you. Let's see. The end of your turn. The thing vanishes
Poof.
with Clark.
Bye.
Let's see. It ends up here, right beside the two of you. Elzera. No, sorry, that was Zacchus. Oh, it's its turn now. Look at that. Okay. Then it will try to reach out. One for Zacchus and one for. No, we'll try 2 and 3. It's been trying to get onto you, but you're a new prey. So we'll go 2 on Zacchus and 1 on Ironbound.
partial cover.
The partial cover is negated by the fact that it moved beside you, but it only rolled a 10.
Wow, that's actually like.
And the second one was a 24.
Oh yeah, that's right.
As the tentacle reaches outward, you take 11 points of bludgeoning damage. You are now grappled and restrained. And the third tentacle whipping out towards Kuzumaya, 2060 it.
I made the con save or the concentration save.
Okay. And that is 10 points of bludgeoning damage. And you are now restrained. So, Ironbound, it is your turn. You now see 3 of your people.
I'm trying.
Clark probably still has it. He's got a weapon in hand. He's doing okay.
You could probably see a foot.
But all 3 of you can kind of imagine you're being suspended a little bit as it kind of pulls and grapples you all in. It only has 1 free tentacle at this particular point, however, which it's trying to use as much to move as anything else.
Yes. No, I didn't set those up. Never mind. Well. Yeah, I can't multicast that one.
So for those of you watching at home, I don't know if I should dance or sing at this point while we cover the player's choices.
Well, first thing is I am going to cast. Can I touch Clark?
I'd say you could make an athletics check or an acrobatics check to do it. You will be at disadvantage.
And you'll want to ask permission.
Well, we presume
I'm
you're
sure there's no
friends
time
at
for
this
that.
point. On the road, things happen. I don't know.
Oh, dear.
It's terrible.
Well,
Make an insight roll to see if Clark would really mind.
He's not here right now, anyway.
That's true. Clark is checked out.
It's very dark and it's very sharp in here.
It's true. This is the shadow.
I'm going to cast Zephyr Strike on myself
Okay.
as a bonus action.
Remind me again as to what that does.
Actually, first I'm just going to try and get out of its grasp.
Okay.
21.
Once again, wriggle free. I'm assuming this is acrobatics again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's used to grappling much larger creatures. Clearly,
I keep squeezing out of its tentacles, like between things. Then I'm going to cast Zephyr Strike as a bonus action.
Okay.
My movement does not provoke opportunity attacks, And once before the spell ends, I can do something funky.
Ironically enough, you move like the wind.
That's that. That's the one I couldn't find. Okay, well, then I am going to move over. What are you doing? Yeah, I can get to there. Okay.
Okay. Oh, I should probably put him on the initiative track so people know when he actually goes as well. All right, end of your turn. Let's see. I think he's going to bite somebody.
Ooh, me.
Let's see. Well, it's 2 people. Odds and evens. Evens.
God damn
As he makes an attempt to chomp down on you. 15 to hit.
it. Yeah.
That hits?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
My AC's 11.
Okay.
Anything hits. Unless you like roll a 1 or something.
26 points of piercing damage as he launches into your side and takes a chunk out. You feel your robe kind of pulled open a little bit and you can see the glow spilling out.
Uh-oh.
What do we have here? Says the voice from a distance.
And I lose a first step.
All right.
Come get it, asshole.
That is Elzara, you're up. It is now gleefully snacking down on the things it's caught. Although one thing keeps getting out of its grasp.
Is trying. What would it be to take the bag of holding from Zacchus?
You'd have
I'll hand it
to
over.
get in. I would say it's also grappled.
Okay.
So you would have to kind of use an acrobatics or an athletics check
Alright.
to get around it.
Because as
You're
when
not-
I can get into...
Right, getting in is not a problem. It's more the fact that he's wrapped up in this tentacle.
Alright.
Now, you don't have disadvantage because you're not the one wrapped up.
Okay.
So that would be what I would roll.
But it would be an action.
It would be an action, yes.
I'm going to continue attacking it.
Okay, so you're going to move closer?
Yeah. What size is this creature?
It is large.
Just good for me to know.
Its size is kind of weird to judge because it's large, mostly because the tentacles take up so much space, but the main body of itself you see can kind of smush down. It's very soft and sinewy.
Yeah.
Its back part is bulging a little bit, and you're thinking it's about a halfling-sized bulge.
Okay. So, going to hit it. Up to a natural 16 plus 8.
That is most definitely a hit. As you swipe, how are you hitting it? What's it look like? Just plain old smashing? Okay.
Just plain old smashing.
The wind pummels this poor creature.
She's at a
Just
point
trying to
of
eat.
like that thing needs to get away. She told Zacchus to move, and to not get involved. He got closer.
Well, I've seen what that thing can do before, and it's like I would have lashed along next to it.
you went into the dark. So.
Not that it matters.
Not that it matters
He was
anymore.
going to get dispelled.
It was being stalked.
Yeah.
This is what the perception check was, because
Yeah.
it got close to you.
So.
It got too close.
14 damage.
14 damage. Nicely done.
Magically damaged, too.
Yeah.
And I don't think a 10 will hit.
10 misses, unfortunately. As you're kind of pummeling away, and it sort of retreats back a little bit. Uses its tentacles to kind of do a slap fight to keep you from hurting it too much more.
And I'm going to go into its square.
Okay.
So
The other two are kind of bundled up with it,
Yep.
so they are at risk, but you can certainly do so. We have no way of representing that, but we will just assume that
Yep.
it's there.
So that's why I was asking the size of the creature. So we are the same size, so I can still be in its square.
Yep. All right. You move into its square. I think it will vanish.
Oof.
And you can kind of feel its presence just sort of disappear. Now I have to take my own advice because I can move the thing closer.
Ah.
As it grabs the two of you and moves over here.
Tasty fish.
tasty fish, and it doesn't like one getting away. Zero falling around.
Can't help that.
All right, Clark.
All right.
You're getting a little disoriented. Not only are you being held aloft by this tentacle and kind of moving and trying to stab, every once in a while you look around and the entire world is different. Over kind of where Elzara would be and where the thing is, you can see her kind of floating up above. You see your sister kind of running towards you. Again, that semi-translucent state. A concerned look on her face, but she has the spear aloft.
Okay. Let's stab the thing again.
All right.
So at disadvantage, let's use the Bardic Inspiration.
You can add that after.
Yes, we'll use it anyway, regardless of how things go.
He doesn't like having Bardic Inspiration.
Just want to get rid of it as fast as I can. A mighty 13 plus 8.
21.
21, that hits.
All right, well, let's stab the thing.
As you stab at it with these sacks.
Yeah. So I will do a mighty d4. So 1.
Actually,
Hold on, I'm not done yet.
it is the sacks, right? Which is a dex-based weapon.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
well, I'm using it as strength
Okay.
because the strength is better. So it gives me
Dex would give you the sneak
4
attack, though.
4 damage.
Okay.
Plus 1 dice of radiant. One die radiant.
So how much radiant?
1.
Oh, okay. You said one die. I was like,
Yeah.
the die turns into what?
4 brute force stabby and 1 radiant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Although if you hit with Dex, you get the sneak attack damage.
That was what I was kind of hinting at.
Yeah.
But
Well,
you specifically want to be able to better hit.
yeah. The better
It
hit was important.
shrieks in pain
I
from
suppose
the
yeah,
from
to
the
attack
damage,
roll.
but doesn't seem to drop you.
Well, good, because I'm going to hit it again. Or try to. With a 17. No.
So
16.
16 total.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you're still being thrown around too much, and you just about have it, but the edge of the blade just sort of skitters off of its hide.
Okay.
Of its hide.
How does the creature react to the blade, if any?
It doesn't seem to like being stabbed.
Okay.
But it doesn't seem to have slowed down.
So
any.
no,
Well, if
no,
it didn't stab people, we wouldn't stab it
no
back.
burning, smelling.
No, other than
kind
sort
of-
of a shriek of surprise.
Okay.
Wasn't expecting damage to come from there.
Good. All right. That's it for me.
It seems like its food doesn't usually struggle this long. You might think so anyway. Let's see.
Question.
Yes.
Getting out of here is going to be a physical action.
Yes.
Okay. So disengage as a cunning action is not really a good option.
You won't. Well,
I would need
you wouldn't
the-
be able to do anything because
Yeah,
your
okay.
movement is 0
Just
at the
busy
moment.
kicking my feet in the air.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. Let's see. What does he want to do?
So I got 1 in. That's good enough for me. New guy's a sorcerer.
15, 60.
I'm sorry, warlock. There we go. Maybe? I'll look that up later. I think it was warlock.
The large guy hovering over with his wings vanishes.
Poof.
Yep. Back around to Zakis.
Well, I had something clever in mind, but now you vanished, so I can't do that anymore.
Feel free to be clever right over there. It's okay.
But now it changes everything, and I have to think again.
Oh, that's okay. I believe in you. You can do the thing. It's right over there.
And you are bound up by the
Yeah.
thing at the moment too, which makes it difficult to do much things.
Do a little
So
high five. It's about
Although that teleport one would work.
yeah, the scatter.
No, the one you just did. The
Yeah, I'll do that again then.
Okay.
But then the other guy's gonna come after me, and I have like
Well,
one.
you can't tell what they're going to do
left.
necessarily.
If he's
Being
gonna
bound
come
up
after
right
you, he's gonna come
now.
after you anyways.
Being bound up right now is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, like no matter where I go, I'm probably dead next turn. I'll
necessarily.
cast a first step and.
Okay. And you vanish from its grip. There's a growl of
I
anger as
forget
it
what
lost
the
one of its
maximum
meal.
distance is.
Far step?
90 feet, I think.
It might be 60, I think.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah, 60 feet. Unoccupied space.
Is it an action or bonus action?
It's a bonus action to cast.
Okay, so you have an action.
No, I thought it was a bonus action only like after I cast it for the next minute.
Nope, it's a bonus action casting time.
Yeah. So
And then later on, you can use a bonus action to teleport again.
So had I known that, okay. I just forgot to cast something out of the first time.
You could cast a cantrip. You couldn't cast a regular spell.
Firebolt!
Okay, at, I'm assuming the thing,
Mhm.
Yes.
Bahaneth.
It's a lot.
So 16 plus 11,
10
so 20,
or 11, yes.
27.
That's a hit.
Pew, pew, pew.
As the former meal turns into barbecuer.
It's a 3d10, right? I think.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
15, or 25.
Nice.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How much of that heat drips onto me?
None, because he successfully hit.
Okay.
If he had missed, there would be a chance, potentially.
I don't
If he'd botched, there would have been a chance.
'Cause I believe I'm being eaten. So
Yeah, but you're also moving around yourself, and it's kind of moving you around.
okay.
Now it thinks
That
you're
was
spicy.
25?
Yep.
Okay, I gotta do math myself. All right. It's looking a bit rough from all the repeated stabbings. Its blood is kind of spraying out a little bit from the sacks, and it's got some nasty bruise kind of impacts from the wind blowing on it.
Good. Do I see any like small caves to hide into?
Again, they're all about the same size. You can certainly try. It's going to be difficult to cram yourself in there.
Chances are like Buddy's invisible up there anyway and can just see me wherever I
He
go.
did vanish, and you know he was invisible before.
Yep. If you want to move, you can move 3 squares.
Yep, movement is 1. Okay.
friend.
Buddy up with the wind. Always friend to the wind.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Top of the round. It gets to go. It's going to try to grab the one that keeps getting away.
I don't know why, I'm just going to get away again.
Yeah, it may get a chance in between you getting away. It hasn't happened so far, but... and I forget if Zephyr Strike gives you immunity to
Nope.
being grappled anyway.
No, it's just immunity to attacks of opportunity.
Ah, okay. Well, it's going to launch out with a tentacle. That is a 16 to hit
That it's
for 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
okay.
Let's see. It caught you. It's not used to catching you.
It's used to catching. You know,
It'll
it's
take
not
a bite
used to-
attack right away because it has you, and it's not been able to bite you before. It doesn't know what you taste like. That
It gets
is
4 tentacles and a bite.
it either gets 4 tentacles or 2 tentacles and a bite.
Okay.
And it bit for 23.
Yep.
And for once, I'm not lying. It is a low damage roll.
And
That's
my spell goes down.
21 piercing damage. Zephyr
I'm-
Strike goes down.
Yep. Okay, I got 4 hit points left.
You can
So
do it.
he's not looking good. He is attached by the thing. I can't really move any closer. I'm gonna stay where it is, I think. Ironbound, you are up. It took a big chunk out of you.
Mm-hmm.
You're weirdly though look
Well-
exactly normal because the illusion is holding.
I get a 21 to get out again.
Easily done as you slip out of its grasp.
That's all I can do.
You can move.
Mm-hmm. Okay, take your attack of opportunity.
You can use your bonus action to disengage, can you?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
I'll teach you that later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hasn't learned that part yet.
Yep.
That is a
maybe not.
19 to hit.
Okay, I'm out.
Not necessarily.
Yes, I am.
That is 5 points of damage.
Yes.
It was
out.
close. As you run away, it lashes out with one of the tentacles.
Okay.
That is you now, Elzera.
I'm going to take the bag of holding from Zakkus.
Okay, so you're gonna move in, grab the bag.
Yeah.
Okay, make an acrobatics or athletics roll at disadvantage, without disadvantage.
Oh,
He's still held. Oh no, you're not held anymore.
No.
Never mind. Okay, yeah, no, never mind.
so
Yeah,
I'm just
take
going
action
to take it.
then.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hear
As the
that.
wind
You
kind of
can
blows
pick
your
up grab an item. Oh no, never mind.
I hear the primordial like,
I'm
give me the
going.
fucking bag.
Yeah, no, I'm going to actually attack instead of grabbing the bag.
Okay, so you're gonna move up to it.
I'm going to move up to it, attack, and then I'm going to ask Zakkus to give me the bag, which wouldn't be an action on either part. Because you can.
It'd be an action on his turn.
Yeah.
Because he's already.
There has to be an action either way to
Yeah.
transfer the item.
You
It's
can
either yours or his.
drop it, and I can pick it up.
Since it's not
yeah.
contested, however, you
Yeah.
could take the bag as a bonus action. I'll just say
Okay.
that.
Okay.
So are you going to take the bag as a bonus action?
I will take the bag as a bonus action.
Okay. There's a bag floating in the wind. it's a little weird.
I have a bit of a better chance of protecting this thing.
Yeah.
All right.
At least how this is looking. And I am going to attack Buddy.
Attack buddy.
That's a 14, so it's gonna miss.
14 misses, unfortunately. As the wind, it's gotten used to the wind now, and it kind of knows how to move out of the way.
And so does that. So that was 30
Second
feet.
one was a what? Sorry.
It was less.
Oh, okay.
It's like 20 feet, I think.
Yeah. So I have
Oh, I
100.
suppose it's over and then back, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have 100 feet of movement. So I'm going to go as far from this thing that way as I can.
Okay. It will take a swish
No.
with the. Oh no, actually,
No,
it
it
won't.
won't,
That's right, because you attacked it.
because I attacked it.
It tries to, but then it's futile. at that
So I'm
point.
going to go.
Punching the wind at this point.
That was
Like
20
this way,
feet.
or
Yeah, so I'm going to go that way.
5, 10,
You do pass over
Sorry.
Kuzumaya, who's down on the ground.
50,
Yeah.
You see Clark still bound up in the thing.
70.
Okay.
I can move 80 feet because that was
Okay.
it was 20 feet to get to him
All right.
because I am large.
The wind whooshes for a while and then vanishes. It is
Yeah.
Clark's turn.
All right. So having seen a lot of people scatter to the wind, Clark is going to use his action,
Okay.
his move action, to sheath the axe.
Okay.
And with his spear.
I'll say that's a free action. That's not
Okay,
really an action.
all
Or
Your foot is already all the way over here.
well, okay.
Come
Yeah.
over here.
Then the move action will be to properly draw the shadow glaive.
Okay. So you kind of reach back an unfamiliar weapon.
Yeah.
It almost meets you halfway in its hand, as if anticipating this.
Excellent.
You start to hear the voices immediately upon taking contact of it. You see your sister now charging forward with the spear. What do you do?
Here's the intent.
Okay.
I'm going to try to get eaten,
Okay.
and I'm going to toothpick the guy.
All right. Its mouth isn't really super large,
Well, it's going to have to be to eat me. So I'm
but you
hoping-
can try to jam yourself in
yeah,
there.
I'm
Okay.
going to try to do the thing.
I'll say that's a held action. So when it goes to bite you,
Yes.
you can make an attack and try to dive in.
It would have advantage anyway because I'm restrained, and I have disadvantage for striking. So,
Sure.
do you want to call that a skill check or an attack?
I'll make that an attack.
Okay.
Since it's its turn right next,
Right.
it's a held action. Is there anything else you want to do before that?
No, I think that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, at this point, I'll call it a roll-off between
Sure.
you and it.
It's not its action next. Zakis gets to go.
Actually, this thing gets to go next anyway, so it's not its
Yeah.
action. So you'll get a chance.
Yeah.
You have to wait on this then,
Okay.
because Zakis and another thing will have a chance to
I'll
act.
keep my dice at the ready.
Sure thing. Thank you. I was thinking I had A where B was, but you're right ready going, okay, just eat me, bastard.
Yes, exactly.
Let's see. What is it going to do?
My sister's watching.
Hello, sister.
Watch this.
Who are you talking to?
Let's see.
Shush you.
Doesn't have that. Doesn't really want to do that. Zakis, make a perception check.
7. Maybe I should have kept that.
Okay, you don't notice. And then
It would have only changed your passive.
Yeah, I suppose.
around you erupts a patch of pure darkness. You can see nothing, not even your hand in front of your face, as you are engulfed in a patch of darkness. You can kind of look back on your perception and you see this sort of magical darkness appear around Zakis. That's that. Zakis, it is your turn.
I'm assuming I've heard of this spell before, so can other things
yeah.
see inside this sphere?
No, it's pure. It's completely obscuring. In fact, I think you even have the darkness spell, or you've seen it used before.
Okay.
We canceled it with the spheres, the globe thing.
Yeah,
before.
you've done that before.
That was our interaction with it.
So,
Okay.
something is trying to obscure you from doing much of anything. You know it's not probably that big, but you're not really sure. And it's very hard to see where you are, and you can feel the edge of the stones right by your feet.
Okay. I've only read the description like 8 different times. I don't know why I can't remember it.
That happens to me all the time, especially when playing spellcasters. There are so many things.
On each of your turns. Okay, it doesn't have to be at the end.
Nope.
Oh, the teleport?
Yeah,
it's
first
going to be a
step.
place you can see, though.
It has to be a place you can see.
But I have keen mind, and I have keen mind now, and I can remember all the details.
You still can't see.
It doesn't
the spot,
say a
though.
place that you know of. It's got to be a place.
Yeah,
You can
there are things that work on the place you know, but
So I vaguely remember there was like enough free space over here, right?
You have to see it.
I mean you
Well, you do know that there was space.
there
over
was
there.
definitely more of a plateau there. Yes.
So I'm just gonna like walk as much as I can over here.
Okay. And by the point you step to there, you step out of the darkness,
Okay.
and you can see this globe behind you.
Do I see Buddy who cast it?
You do.
Where is he?
He's basically right about there. Actually, I'll put them back on the map as he was standing there,
On the map.
which you didn't see until you came out of the darkness.
Okay.
However, now you can do your action
Yeah.
or use your bonus action because you have that far step still active. You can see that Clark is still being kind of swung around, although it looks like he's got some sort of weird plan in mind as he pulled out that glaive you'd seen him take from one of the first things you encountered here. You can see now shadow rippling over this glaive. It's growing in power, and there's a sort of darkness reflected in his eyes.
And there's I can't see anything beyond here, right?
That's right, it's blocking your view of that direction.
And do I know because Ima is on the other side, like down or?
You did see him
Nope.
fall there,
Okay.
because we've seen you run away, and then the lash out of the tentacle.
Actually, what's the range on the tentacle? Because I wouldn't actually be that far around.
10, so it's just another square.
Okay. Yeah.
And can I see his body there?
No.
From here, it's hard to see it, but you know where it was.
I'll cast Scatter.
Okay.
Interesting.
There
Let me
isn't.
look up for scatter here.
It's in Xanathars, I believe.
Yeah. I can move 5 creatures anywhere on the board.
5 creature
within
choice you can
120
see within
feet.
range. Unwilling creature will have a wisdom saving throw. That's kind of neat. I've never
Yeah.
seen that spell before.
So,
All right.
It's a good one.
So, it must be on the ground or on a floor, so you
Yeah.
can't teleport someone in the middle of the air.
So-
That would be scary.
I'll teleport him.
Okay, hang on. He gets to
He
make a
gets
saving
will
throw.
save,
Yeah.
or wisdom save.
What's his DC?
19.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think that's even close. He rolled single digits.
And he's gonna go next to this angry tentacle beast.
Okay.
And can I move?
And there's a sort of...
Can I move Ironbound here?
You can't really see him from
Okay.
where you are, unfortunately.
Crapola. Then I will fire step.
You can see Clark. and
Yeah,
you can
you
see
can
a
move
creature.
Clark.
But Clark looks like he's got a plan.
He does, but he's also being held by the thing in half.
Yeah, you'd get him out of the grapple.
All right, Clark comes.
Or you could move
Uh,
him just like one square over. Just he's not grappled anymore, but he's in the same spot.
That's up to you. Is Clark willing as you feel yourself kind of being bound up in a magical spell that feels like it's pulling you away? It doesn't feel dangerous, and you can see Zacchus casting it.
You like dragons or treasure?
Hmm?
Dragons or treasure?
Treasure.
Ah, that's a shame. Nope, I'll resist.
Okay, so you make a
Well,
wisdom saving
yes.
throw.
Certainly. Wisdom.
Being the one with the lowest.
3.
You find yourself vanished from your position and place him where you like.
Surprise, surprise.
Okay,
Here.
as you're ready, and then it's no longer in front of you. Anything else, Zacchus? You did your move. You did your spell. You didn't do your bonus action.
I'm gonna fire step next to Ironbound. Try to hide as best as I can. I know it's dangerous because it's close, but he's like dying. So
You still can't really see that level. You
Okay.
can kind of teleport to the 5 feet above him and kind of fall down.
Ugh, that's really close to Buddy.
That's also pretty close. Yes.
Yes, if you want to get close to me, you got to get close to Buddy. That'll be good for a round or two.
I'll fire step. Somewhere farther away. And I can't like just go on the other side of this darkness, all right?
No, because you can't see it from there.
You could run there, but you can't magic there.
Yeah, he's actually moved already. So
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. I'll fire step a little farther away.
Okay. Not a bad idea. Let's see.
Now those two get to go at it.
Let's see. Okay.
Possibly.
So the creature sees now this strange bat-winged demon who looks kind of surprised, but also seems to chuckle, and it lashes out at him.
Yay.
And misses, but not by much, as he kind of shrugs back and growls at the thing. It's going to continue to try because it has lots of tries to do so. That's a miss. That's a miss.
Now it rolls badly.
And the last one catches it as the tentacle wraps around him. This is kind of funny, actually. Okay. It kind of grips onto him a little more than he probably wanted it to. And he's growling angrily at it. Ironbound.
Oh,
Failed.
Not a good.
Okay. Ironbound is sitting on the ground. Actually, one more thing. Doo-doo-doo. Kind of funny. The darkness stays up. Elzara.
I am going to go up to Kuzumaya,
Okay.
pick up Kuzumaya, and take him 30 feet that way again.
I think your strength in this form is something ridiculous,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Also, I'm significantly
15.
smaller than she is.
Yeah. So
I
there's
don't
no effort
penalize
whatsoever to
her
kind of
movement.
swoop him up with the other hand, because one hand is currently holding onto the bag.
Yeah.
Also, it's Kuzaima. Mark's the only one that says Kuzumaya.
And Marina.
Do I say that? I
All the
say
time.
Ironbound.
Ironbound's
Specifically because
great.
I won't make
Well-
that mistake.
Yeah, well, when you say Ironbound, you get it right.
Ironbound.
Anyway, and I'm going to move 30
However,
feet.
it was within range for it to make a reaction and you
It was
did
like
not attack it.
20 feet away.
Oh, yeah. Fair.
It caught him on the edge of it
Yeah,
range.
to grab me, she'd have to get within range.
So that is cocked.
Mm.
That's a 24.
Not technically, because he was here.
It's
I have
in
to
that-
go here to grab him.
You
I'm
have
30
to
feet from him.
literally go up to him to grab him. You don't have a reach of 10 feet, do you?
I have a reach
Oh,
of
that
5
says a reach
feet,
of 5.
but I would
Technically,
be...
she could be on the other side
Yeah.
of me, and it would be... Technically, she would be outside of its range when she grabs me. Because the book doesn't say you have to enter the hex.
Yeah, I
Square,
think
so.
that's splitting hairs. What I'll do is we'll make it come down to a die roll. Make an acrobatics roll. All you got to do is beat a 10 to be kind of on the edge and grab him without hurting him. Because you could just grab his arm and yank him away, but that's probably not a good idea for him bleeding out right now.
Sure.
Does she get
I'll
advantage 'cause
dispute this during the
kobold
break,
is super
though.
light?
That is cocked. That is a 1.
Oh.
Okay. So it does hit. Because I'd already rolled that. Whew, and does very well for damage, as you take 14 points of bludgeoning damage. However, it is
non-magical.
Non-magical.
Okay. Oh, so I would have only taken 3 earlier.
Yeah.
Oh.
So...
But you otherwise are able to scoop him up just as the tentacle kind of snaps at you. It does not grapple you. It's only a reaction.
so I am 30
You're
feet.
booking it out? Okay.
I'd actually have moved 30 feet at a different, closer to this angle, just so that I'm not close to Buddy.
Which
And-
buddy is buddy?
Actually, Zakis doesn't notice this, but you do notice, Clark, that you see Elzara sort of swoop in and grab it. It just happens to be the perfect spot for the darkness to block Zakis' point of view. Wow, that actually held on pretty well. That makes it Clark's turn.
Clark smiles at the fact that his compatriots are being spirited away.
You look over and notice that the spirit, literally the wind, has taken away your friend.
Good.
That's good. You also look at your sister, who was charging forward, and looks over at you.
Yeah.
It is good to see you, brother. Whatever dream this might be, perhaps I can help. And she runs towards you, and you feel this weird presence for a moment.
Oh dear. This is going to be awkward.
For the rest of this combat, you have advantage on all attack rolls,
Oh, yeah.
as you feel the spirit somehow of your sister embody you, strengthening you, and there's a ferocity of the battlefield which overtakes you.
Okay, then. In that case, when it comes my turn, I'll do a thing.
It is your turn.
We'll dash
Okay.
towards the bad creature.
Okay.
Which one?
Do a flip and fly and leap
All right.
and try to drive the Shadow Glaive into its gullet.
All right. Comes swinging out strong.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Go for it.
Flashbacks of jumping off of a building.
You got me to hold my dice roll from before, so
That
I'll
that
reroll?
circumstance, yeah, that
I'll
circumstance
reroll?
went away,
Okay.
unfortunately.
fair enough. With advantage. Ka-cha. There's a natural 20.
Oh, woo! Okay then.
Well,
Oh my.
All right.
Well, that's
So,
definitely a
that's
hit.
gonna be a
and
lot.
That'll be a hit.
This
I
will be an
guess.
impressive thing.
The great.
I don't know if you want to expend a charge. It does have a couple of charges.
It does. Sure. It sounds like a good time to use it.
Okay.
Okay, so I need a D10, and I need another D10.
So yeah, with a ferocious yell that you didn't even kind of intend to, but it sort of slips out in this sense of a battlefield fury taking you. You all see as Clark charges forward at the creature, comes with the glaive that he's never used before. It's a first opportunity, and you can see that the glaive sort of grows as the shadow engulfs the blade, and it starts to chop into it.
22.
That's with the double because of the dice, or because
Yes.
of the crit.
Yes, and yes.
I can see 16 from
haven't-
here,
So 16.
right? So that's
17,
30.
18,
That's
19 on the
32.
strength.
Okay.
20, 21, 22
Okay.
on the charge.
Okay. But the dice are doubled because it's a crit.
Yes.
That's why I rolled
So
two dice.
I'm gonna roll.
Oh, okay,
I'm
sorry.
gonna roll one more, but
Mhm.
we're at the
Gotcha.
22.
Okay.
Because of
the orcish thing.
the orcish thing.
Yeah.
All dice are doubled.
Yeah. All dice are doubled.
Yeah, the orcish die is double.
Oh,
too.
cool. So that's 7, 8, 9, 29.
Okay.
And 33.
33. Now, you do have something with large weapons. I forget exactly what that was.
I had to reroll ones and twos.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had no ones and twos to worry
No.
about?
We're
Okay,
all
so
good.
what did we say the total was?
33?
33.
I'm assuming it's magical damage too.
Probably. Question
Definitely from that
mark?
weapon.
Okay.
Okay.
It's considered necrotic.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Actually, 33 plus 4 more, so 37.
37 plus. That's a die.
Yeah, that's doubled. So,
Okay. 4 more.
so,
41.
Yep.
so 33 to 41. So it's a difference of
8.
8. Okay, because I already subtracted 1. I didn't want to have to do it again.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Whew. All right. As you swing forward and jump and impale it with this glaive, you can feel the strength kind of pulse. The blade enlarges with black, and it cuts deeply into the thing. It howls angrily. It is not dead, but it is severely wounded at this point.
Can I hit it 2 more times?
You certainly
I'm
can.
going to try.
You can certainly try.
Advantage on the next one.
Actually,
yes?
you probably can. Yes, advantage again.
8. 21.
21 is a hit.
Not a crit, though. That's okay. I get one of these. Well, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 16, 17, 18.
18. Whew. All right. As the backhanded slash cuts into it again.
And then the final one.
And then the final one.
14, 15, 25.
25 is definitely a hit.
Okay. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then necrotic. 17.
17.
17.
Amazingly, still alive.
Clark makes a lot of
But
noise.
now you see the lingering effects of this as the wounds themselves still have blackened shadow covering them. They look almost like permanent wounds, almost like scars, in fact.
Sweet.
Clark is laughing at the top of his lungs while blood flies everywhere.
Kind of, yeah.
I haven't done bonus action yet.
It's true.
Let's do that thing with the action surging.
Okay. All right.
Hit him again.
All right. As in a fury and whirlwind, he goes into action once more.
19 this time.
19 is a hit.
Ah, yeah. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Necrotic.
Still standing.
That's fine.
That just means it's still grappling the other demon.
You've got a full action, no, don't you?
That was all of them. So attack, bonus attack because of the because of the
But
crit.
Action surge is a full
Action
set
surge
of,
gives you
set of
a
action.
full set of actions, so that would give you 2 more attacks.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Oh, it
OP.
definitely is.
Amazing.
Another
OP.
crit.
Isn't that 20?
Not even remotely OP. Considering how much damage you can do in a turn.
If I remember how to use my spells properly.
Well, once you wake Clark up, he's dangerous.
Yeah.
That first couple of rounds, he has to get bloodied, has to be kind of into the moment.
I hope he's not mad at me for teleporting him.
I think he's taking it out on the creature.
Good.
Bonus weapon damage, is that considered 1s and 2s? It's not the weapon. It's the
It's
magic effect.
any damage rolls.
Okay.
You get that effect
Yeah.
on. So yeah.
All right. So that's better than a 1. So 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 24.
And another D4.
And another d4 for the extra necrotic. 24 and 4 more is 28.
Tell me how this happened.
I would prefer if Clark took a flying leap, did the first few dashes of strikes, and then basically just walked through the creature and come out the other end,
Okay.
face to face with this new thing.
And you still have one attack left, right?
I don't.
No. Not at all.
Oh, no, because
No, you just killed something actually.
with a crit.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So first off,
Sure.
as the fury of battle overtakes Clark, and everybody is is concerned at the moment, he leaps forward, takes the glaive down,
I watched
lands
this
on
happen.
it. With the force of his landing, gets a chance to pull back and continue to move downward, cutting and cutting and cutting. There's one tentacle goes flying off in a direction. It screeches in pain. Another tentacle goes off in another direction. And then there's that last strike, which literally cleaves it in two. And before you stands the rather surprised bat-winged demon. No longer grappled because it was also being held by one of those tentacles. As the tentacle kind of falls off of it. And it looks at you with an eyebrow raised.
I don't like the look of it. Let's kill it too.
Yep.
15, 25.
25 is definitely a hit.
All right. Nothing fancy, though. There's a 10. 16 plus 3 is 19. Necrotic.
Okay. As you lay into the creature, behind the creature,
Yeah.
with a shocked surprise on its face,
And a bloody smile.
Yep. As it stands there, it looks at you with a surprise. It takes the hit and just laughs. Very well. No prizes today. And vanishes. And that will bring that combat to an end.
All right.
Now, we will deal with the aftermath of this in a moment, as we do have to take a break for today. We just have a bit of an extra break this time. Actually, we'll deal with it right now. Because there's not much to really deal with. There were 9 people that were still enthralled. You'd started to wake one of them up. It doesn't take much to wake the rest of them up. They are simple travelers. They had been bringing carts in, hopefully to get some of the wild thornberry. This is one of the few reasons to come out in this direction. One of them, though, was there to try to harvest from festering. It looks like a wild halfling, and literally he looks wild. His eyes are kind of flitting around all the place. He seems to be giggling to himself. You can see 3 different scars on his face. One in silver, one in brown, and the other one in this sort of festering yellow. Who had believed that he could go into festering. He'd heard that if one could cut a tree from festering, one would be mighty. He does, in fact, have a couple of axes. 2 of them are two out of 3 axes he has in the back of his wagon. The wagons are kind of off here. Are rusted and look pathetic, but you could probably heave at something with those. They are thankful, but they are not able to offer you much other than their thanks. They're going to turn around and go back. This is the first they'd ever heard of this thing. Some describe that they've been there for a while, but they have no concept of time, much as anybody else does here. Yep.
Did any of them happen to have any healing or curative things?
Not a thing.
Okay.
Not
Simple
a thing.
travelers.
Looking at them, they are bottom of the barrel. Actually, they will give you collectively the equivalent of 3 shadow coin, which is not bad. It's delivered in bits and pieces, mostly Numa.
Since In the initiative, I would have had to make a save before she could have a chance to heal me. I rolled one. I rolled a natural 20.
Okay. I assume outside of combat, it's easy enough to stabilize someone. But yes, you kind of come awake, floating above the ground, being held aloft in one hand by... I'm assuming she doesn't spin while you're there. That would be rather rude.
I wake up and the first thing I do is pew.
Yeah, in a nice big arc around the place. Looking around, you do find another couple of, it would be total of 5 quintessence, so the equivalent of 1 shadow coin as well. Just from the stuff inside, I'm assuming you would look in some of the crags and stuff.
Basically, it's enough we get 1 coin each.
Essentially, yeah, that's what works out too. But you do not see any sign of the floating demon. And looking at it, what you realize probably this was a trap. They had something which could lure things in, hold them here, and then they could pick them off at their whim. But clearly they picked off the wrong group. And wherever that thing is, it's probably not happy.
Was it... Do I get the impression it was like... You said earlier that it felt like we were set up.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Do you think it would have been like... Or would Zacchus realize that it had been following us for quite a while, or...?
It's impossible to tell.
Okay.
Because it can be invisible, and it knows how to hide fairly carefully. It could have been watching you for a while, or it could have just been waiting for the opportunity for someone to come here. It doesn't seem to be here now, at least it isn't making any move against you. Even as vulnerable as you were with the demonstration that Clark had, it wasn't going to go against that.
So it's a safe bet that it's still watching us from afar somewhere.
It's a safe bet it's out there. Whether it's watching or not, you have no idea.
Yeah.
Does Ironbound recognize that as an aberration? Or is it something demonic or devilish?
How does he recognize things as aberrations?
Well, basically, he has advantage on rolls to know things about aberrations.
Okay.
So...
Make an Arcana roll. And he'll have advantage on that, because it's his specialty. He may not know the details of it, but at least he can have an instinct.
Nope. That's a 7.
Hard to say. The difference between an aberration and a demon and all kinds of things you meet here, it's really hard to tell.
I can explain. I mean, I've read a book about this guy, or these things.
You've actually encountered one before.
Yeah.
And you know fairly certainly that it was not just an aberration. It was an intelligent being. Mm-hmm. The creature that's down most definitely was an aberration of some kind. And actually, I'd forgotten about that. You should have had advantage when attacking it.
Nope. Rangers don't get that.
Oh, it's just to know about them. Right.
Yep, to track or know about.
Right. And with that, we will pick up shortly after this, but it will be at 6:30. Is there one last thing you want to do?
You said all the caves in here were like only halfling sized, or?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, I'm just wondering if we can take a short rest, like during the break.
You could possibly set it up. You know, the creature that inhabited here is not around. That other creature may still be around. You could do it. It would be a little risky.
Yeah.
If you have some other opportunity to hide yourselves, or a hut you could build.
Or wagons.
A hut would probably take longer than a short rest, but I mean, if people want to, we can do that. Ironbound can break out his candle of healing.
Aren't there like wagons that were left nearby? Or?
There are. They're wagons. If you suggest to them that they can take a break, or that you guys can take a break, they'd feel safer with you here.
Yep, that would be good.
So let's say that you do convince them to kind of essentially circle the wagons. You set up a bit of a patrol. I'm presuming you're staying in the farm.
No, because I want it back.
Okay. So you'll be back in your elven form. And with that, we'll take a short rest. Any last things? Nope. So we will bring this to a pause. As I said, we're going to shut down the stream just because it's an extra long wait rather than having the big wait in the middle. But we will be returning on roughly the half hour. You should see the stream start up again. So do enjoy that. If you're watching this later on YouTube, then just know there is a second file to watch. And with that, see you soon.